I wanted to make money. People have done it, and I always think like if somebody's done it before, then I can do it too. I knew that if I put my mind to it, it was going to happen. So, and I also wanted to, show my husband that I could build another business, and he could be proud of me for for taking over something that he started.
We have Sophie Martinez, who is an FP student. 2.5 months ago, when you launched your first book, you made $85 within the first 24 hours. More than that, you made it to the top 25 bestseller in a category. And then 3 weeks after that, you made your $500. And then today, it seems that you have 3 books published so far, made $3,270, and then your first repeated recurring $1,000 a month. Could you tell me a little bit about what brought you to FPA and what you were doing before, or what you might be currently doing as far as maybe another job that you're doing?
I actually wasn't the one that found FPA. It was my husband that found it. He's kind of, in our marriage, he's always been the one that's more open-minded and always looking for opportunities. And I guess he stumbled upon it on like a YouTube ad kind of a thing. And he was like, this sounds good. He just kind of briefly told me about it. And I remember I was just in my bed and I was like, okay, I mean, if you want to do it. It's for you. For 2 weeks, he was telling me all about this program, and he was telling me what he was learning about self-publishing and how, he just went through most of the modules. And I'm like, what is he doing? It just sounded so intriguing to me, especially because he's not the reader of the family. Like, I'm the one that reads books. So I'm like, why is he so into this? At the time when he brought it up to me, I was like, okay, you do your thing. But then I started getting more interested, and then he started getting busy at work. So I actually ended up taking over after about 2 weeks of him nonstop talking about it.
And so what were you doing before in terms of a job, or are you a stay-at-home mom, or what's your life scenario?
It's kind of hybrid right now, but I work full-time in real estate, and real estate's a very residential real estate. It's a very cyclical kind of, job to be in. So it has its ups and downs monthly and seasonally. So I just happened to be in a down month when FBA came into our world. So I decided that I would just use my time to build something on the side.
Did you have any reservations about your husband doing this?
Oh my gosh. Yes. And I'm going to tell you why, Tina. Because my husband's the kind of person that just does things. And he's like, we'll just see how this goes. And I'm like, okay, I've gotten used to it over 16 years. With this, I was like, this is a business. We're going to have to invest. And I already own a business, so I know what it's like to have to upfront and all that. When I saw the ins and outs of it, I'm like, this is a business, but it also is one of those things where once you have everything set, it seems like it'll just things go on their own.
So once you decided to take over, what happened then? What was going through your mind?
So once I decided to take over, it was when I was helping him pick themes for the books that he was going to have, published. And I was helping him with those. And I realized he wasn't really paying attention to what the modules were saying because I had listened to the modules. So then I started taking over by picking the things for him. And little by little, I just started picking everything and started asking questions in the group or just really paying attention to the group calls. And it switched over a period of 2 weeks where he was the one that got us in, but I'm the one that's carrying it now. And I actually love it. So I'm okay with that.
That's crazy. Okay, so how does your husband feel about it now, just watching you take over? And
he's very excited to see that I picked it up and it's actually doing something. And just those numbers, I mean, I'm really close for the books to actually be making back the money that I've already invested in the books themselves. What we learned through the modules is actually taking place.
What was the motivation for you to just go grind in?
To grind it. I think it was, I wanted to make money. Honestly, I want to see them succeed. And people have done it. And I always think if somebody's done it before, then I can do it too. So it's never like an ability thing. It's just a mindset thing. I knew that if I put my mind to it, it was going to happen. So, and I also wanted to, show my husband that I could build another business and he could be proud of me for taking over something that he started.
What are you hoping for within FPA in the business? Is it that you want to step away from real estate? Is it that you just want something that's passive on the side for you and your husband? What is it for you?
Personally, for me, I'm a mom, so I have two kids. They're both under 6 years old. And my husband has a very hectic career where we can move at any point, basically. And real estate is very local. So I just want to have something that I can kind of on the side that's growing on its own or that I'm taking care of, but it's not dependent on me being in a certain location. So if that was ever to happen, that we would have to move, then I have a business that's still generating income.
Is there anything that you would say to current students?
Yeah, I mean, I had all the questions. I wasn't the one that joined this, right? So
You're
I had
right.
a million and one questions about what we were getting ourselves into, and one of the biggest ones is, how is this really working for people? And I
Mm.
remember when I made my first day putting a book out there, and I followed all the things that FPA had recommended, and I made $85 in a day. I was just like, this is working. What? Everything they said was gonna happen works. So if you follow the system and you don't try to do things on your own and try to reinvent the wheel, what is recommended is actually working.
Is there anything else you would want to say to anybody who's going through this journey or who wants to go through this journey?
Yes, it's fun. It's exciting to build something from scratch, from the bottom up. You have coaches, you have a group that is, behind you, and I mean, if you see the posts that happen in the group, it's like people are encouraging, and you don't get that everywhere. So just know that you're not alone. There's a lot of us trying to figure it out day by day, and making it happen and making it work. Keep investing in yourself as, a person that's growing and doing something out of the ordinary.